And some of their, their finish work in terms of how they, most boats are gel coat. I knew that they use different materials or finishes on the, final top layer of the fiberglass.
Yeah.
It's not gel coat, right?
It's Emron paint.
Emron paint.
Yeah.
What makes Emron paint better than gel coat?
So it doesn't fade. Like it really doesn't. It's really surprising to look at formulas and you have a hard time telling what year it is because you can't see the wear and tear as long as there's not huge gouges in it, obviously.
Yeah.
But you just wash it, you wax it, and it's good. You maybe need to do every other year.
So Emron paint, it's like a 3 or 4 stage paint. The base coat, then you got, your primer, base coat, clear coat, and they probably do a few layers of clear coat.
Yeah.
So that's actually interesting. I've seen a ton of old formulas, and all of them look great. And it's interesting now that you mentioned that because I never really thought anything of it. You look at boat brands there's somewhat of a following of each brand. And, if I'm talking about, not that I'm hating on a brand like Bayliner, but if you're talking about a Bayliner, you look at a 20-year-old Bayliner, you can kind of guess what it's going to look like. And it usually doesn't look great. And when you think of a formula, you think, all right, well, that's someone who spent a lot of money on that boat, maybe ordered it. He takes really good care of it, but he may not just be taking great care of it. He may have a good boat to take care of in terms of aesthetics. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And previous to Formula, you guys were a Bryant dealership.
Correct.
So Bryant, I'm a little bit in the dark about Bryant. I mean, maybe you can shed some light on the history of Bryant or what you do know.
Yeah, I didn't work with Bryant for a long time because they shut down during COVID. Unfortunately, honestly, they were a great mid-level boat. I mean, they were up and coming. They were trying to make a name for themselves, so their quality was really high, but their price wasn't. So they were really trying to make a name for themselves. And just simple bow riders from 22 to 25 feet. And they were a great, great complementary boat to Formula because we would have people come in who wanted let's say a 24-foot Formula, but the price tag on that is significantly higher. But then we say, well, check out this Bryant. And they're really simple. There's not a whole lot to them, but they still handle the chop really, really well because they have such a deep V. And then they're also pretty customizable as well. They had some very cool paint. They would fade because they didn't have the Emron paint, but they had the typical fiberglass. But, over time they'd show their age, but they really run well. Super simple motors in them with the Mercuries, like the 6.2 liter. I mean, those things are bulletproof. And then just super simple stuff. And I really have nothing but great things to say about them.
So Bryant was bought by, I believe, Polaris.
I'm not 100% sure.
I believe that Bryant was bought by Polaris. They did that with a few different brands, and then when COVID came, they just cut